It's time for a little mocking up and checking out and doing things. And I am at top dead center, number 1. There is a little tiny mark there that I backed up with a little white out. Now this is a 1964, okay? So yours can be different. So the mark before that one, the one here, is 6 degrees before top dead center. Now, Lord knows if that's true anymore with gas the way it is. So I don't know what the outcome will be. I will check it with a vacuum gauge. I've already got it set up over here somewhere. There it is. I've got it set up on the booster line. So if I can, I might try to do it a little bit better. But you have to cut this one off here, right here. You're going to have trouble. You know, static timing's one thing. You know, so that's basically what I'm trying to say. So you got to put this cover back on, so you can have the pointer. It's just slipped on there with one bolt. I'm just turning it by hand, and it's turning great, and I'm loving every second of it. So, the story here is going to be a test lamp. This one is not battery capable, so I've got a couple of leads here, and I got 18 volts, and that's the way you can do that. No amps there, but that just makes her a good bit brighter. So, and I'm always for just a little bit brighter. Well, no, not always. Sometimes, but that works. See, that just gives you a nice bright light. So when we do the old spin the pickle here. So on this motor, at top dead center number 1, you want your distributor to look like this according to the book. Now what that does for you is it gives you the window of opportunity. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, I actually mean the window of opportunity. I'm not going to clamp it down or anything. So now these things are keyed. There's a little key right at the end of my pinky on the inside, and there's a key right there. And make sure your little things your tabs are out there, okay? Now, I somehow did this right. I have it marked for number 1. I know I left some wires on them. I guess they're better off over here, aren't they? I have extra ignition stuff, but I don't want to use it unless I have to. Come on, slip in there. There you go. So this will be number 1 right here. And that will leave your window here. And the way, when you get your tach dwell meter, this has become the shelf of ignition. I have a timing light, the old tach dwell meter, and ignition parts and all. That's what I'm going to do. So when you get your tach dwell meter, you can get whatever ones of these hex keys, which fits this one real doggone good. And we'll take the cap off, and I'll show you. So I feel pretty good about that. And I've tried to clean everything I possibly can. Smooth the sparkulators, as Derek calls them. Make sure we don't bust any of them. So here's the way you're going to do the dwell through the window when the time comes. Now, my advice on hex keys is get the best possible you can. Look at that, it's almost no motion at all. And I've done this before. It literally takes, it's unbelievable. If you deal with British cars, you can set the dwell on it in like 5 seconds. It makes you kind of want to cry. So anyway, I've got everything ready. I got a little bit of stripped here. So what we're going to do is we are going to come back around to at least 6 degrees before top dead center. I hear guys going 20, 30 something degrees. I don't know. It just sort of depends, I guess. But anyway, it's looking kind of pretty. This old stuff's looking a little old, but it'll be fine. So we're going to spin her around, and we're going to come around to tighten. Now you can see where the cam lobes we're getting ready to come into, we're on power stroke now, and there goes the anti-clockwise distributor rotor. And then now we're coming on the intake, coming around, or whatever. I don't know what it is. I just know where top dead center number 1 is. That's all I got to know, and I can tell by looking at the lobes. If you can't, you need to. So now we're 180 degrees out, and you can tell by the way the intake lobe is. So there comes that's the 4th one back. 1, 2, 3. See that one? That one. I can't get my finger on the thing. It don't matter. That one right there. So that's the intake one. And the second one up is the exhaust one for number 1. So now we're coming around. So we have compressed the mixture. And so now that can only mean that we're very close to somewhere around 6 degrees before. And that's going to be close enough, because I think it's more than that. And you can see the piston is down a little bit. And so let me hook all this stuff up. Just be quicker if I just do it and then show you. You can use a meter. My system here, where you go to the wire going dedicated to the points, and then you go to ground, and then there you go. See, that's the way you can check the timing on the thing. So with this at 6 degrees before, you want the breakers to go off at that particular point. So since this moves in an anti-clockwise rotation, you want the breakers to break. Now, remember the dwell's not set. Right there. So, that looks to me like right there. It's all just that close. That looks to me like that would be about 6 degrees before. Right there. And that's only, I guess I could have taken the cap off, but there's no use in it. It's just the breakers breaking. Okay, just pretend. I saw something today I hadn't seen in a long time. It was an old Wisconsin motor, and they used to adjust the points by moving the points, the point contact with a screw. Boy, that was a long time ago. So yeah, you didn't move the points around. You actually moved the contact on the points to get the gap right. Fascinating. So right now, see, if you keep going, it'll come on again. So you know this is number 1. Right there. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm not going to do anything much. I'm going to go ahead and get some, let's just go get it. I'm going to get some white out, and that's going to kind of give me my little rough adjustment. I'm just doing this for when I'm set the pop. I don't want the distributor on it when I'm putting the heads on it and all that stuff. I just kind of wanted to do this and get everything in its order. I'm keeping this thing wet with WD-40, and I'm keeping it covered. If it's windy, I'm closing the doors. So you have to remember, what can you see when everything's back on here? And the thing is, you can see, I probably just put the mark right there. Golly. And it's just that very hay fevery time of year, isn't it? So I tell you, that is the mechanic's friend right here, is a little touch of white out. So just try to make the mark as narrow as you can. And it's just like lining up the dots on anything else. So that should be roughly where I need to go. And the thing about this is, let me disconnect this battery. We'll just kind of play just one more time. There you go. And it makes a difference because, see, the light is coming on right there. And you can see the marks are a little, when you get the marks right back into place, boom, just right there. So it's just a matter of just trying to meatball it. But my point was saying, as soon as you crank it, you're going to be breaking it in, but you've also got to get your timing right and everything as good as you can, because you don't want it to overheat on warm-up. And that's one of the reasons I'm going to put this electric fan in here too. And so I'm going to have the fan going the whole time when I'm breaking it in. Now, breaking in motors, we all know they can overheat. So that's the way it used to be. You had to be prepared for that. So anyway, all right, well, we've done our job here. And let's disconnect our big time battery here to say 18 volts. So let's just crack those in half now, and you can just put them like that. So that's what we're doing there. And I'm going to turn this off and back on again, and then we're going to talk about Lucy. So it's like a bad Howard Hawks. No, what was that guy's name? Whoever did those Steve Martin movies and stuff. He was terrible. But he did do Planes, Trains, whoever he was. Let's talk about Lucy. Whole different video. Okay, so, but first, if you're going to store 9-volt batteries, I store them like this up against some felt, and make sure that they don't touch each other. Don't carry these in your pocket. Don't carry any batteries in your pocket. Just don't do it. Lucy's head gasket should be here Friday. Today is Tuesday. I am going to not do anything until I have the flipping head gasket in my hand. We're not taking stuff apart anymore, depending on people to bring stuff. Right now, this car is drivable and movable, although it's pouring oil out of the back of the head, and that generally means the head gasket or something. So you trust me on this thing. It's leaking. I've been down here with UV light. That oil that you see right there is laced with dye. You can almost just see it in the raw. I'm not going to wait till tonight and come out here and do that for you. I would love to. Ooh. That's crimped in on me. That's weatherhead oh, son of a dog. All right, well, maybe I've got some pre-bent hose over here to deal with that. Maybe something like this. I don't know if that's the right size, but I'll put it over here to remind me that's crushed in. So, okay. Those are the worst valves in the world. So I got to pull this apart, take out all the stuff I've done, and I just hate that. My thermostat, my temperature gauge, I put in the mechanical one, so I don't have to take out my oil filter thing. So all this getting ready to come off in a couple of days. Okay, won't be anytime soon, but by video standards, it'll be 4 days in just a few seconds. So to continue on with the 389, the only thing missing out of the whole shebang that I got back from Blue were these 5/16 dowels, and those are $5 each in a lot of places. Are you crazy? I mean, I'm not a cheapskate, but I'm not going to be doing that. So there's that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And if those aren't there, you're not going to have any fun putting the heads on. Okay, because they have to, that's an alignment thing, and you do have to be careful about it. So all you need is one of these. Piece of 5/16 steel stock with some Gorilla Glue on it. However, that happened a long time ago. And you can tell where I chopped it off just yesterday. Chopped off what you need. That's up to you. And then you got to go over to the grinder over there and take you some water in a little bucket. And you got to grind them edges off. And then you have to ever so carefully put those in there. My understanding is, and it was true, that this hole doesn't just go straight through. It's got a little bit of a conical as you go in, shrinking toward the back, and it seems to be very, very true. So check the depth on your heads to make sure that you can clear all this. So with a head gasket, I mean, that's pretty good. So the head gasket, which will soon be going the way of the hole in the earth. Poor mother guy gets another set of Felpro gaskets shoved down her throat. I'm sorry, but it ain't up to me. So anyway, I'll put that back away now. So the other thing is the reason these are going away is because of what? Because of this. Are you kidding me? Nope, that's not going to work. And it's not that it's got way too much lippage. Sounds like I'm a tiling expert, doesn't it? Well, I'm not, but I do know how to do tile. So, boy, you pull this mess on a tile job and it looks terrible. Look how much squish you got there. Now, you don't want this material overhanging into the combustion chamber or on that side of the cylinder, but that far back and that much around, that's a lot of squish. I mean, you're going to lose compression. And not only that, these distances are bad, are reduced, like, and like right here. Look at that. So, don't like that. You got this much? Come on. So, I've ordered some Mr. Gasket ones. You can look them up. They're $22 each for this particular motor. Whatever your motor is, you better be mindful. And the only reason I'm keeping these is to compare them to the Mr. Gasket ones, because 1964 is a crazy mixed up year, let me tell you. And so I've run into all kinds of things just because this is that transition before the big time GTOs came out. So they measure across, I'm 4.08 inches across here. 100 and whatever it is millimeters, that don't matter. And so when I went to Mr. Gasket and a few other places, they talk about the size of the hole in the gasket. And this one is way too much. And I got one that's like 4.12 or something, and boy, that's tolerable there. So, and they say that these holes aren't so monstrous for oil and water passages, and that helps reduce the problem of leaking. They strongly suggest that you use this. Mick had trouble with this, and I've always wondered why. This has not been sprayed since then. He ended up with big globs of it, but anyway, if that one don't work, I got another one. So I'm going to do my 2 coats on my Mr. Gasket gaskets. Especially, I don't know if it calls for it or not, but that's what everybody else is doing. You clean this very thoroughly. We'll do that when we get there. And I want to get all this stuff back off now. And let's see, what was that? Oh, that was just sitting there. So there you go. The scope on a rope. So I got to get that back up again too. So that's going to be my. Oh, and I discovered something else too. I was looking in the old Pontiac manual, and I wanted to look at this. And I think that thermostat. So apparently, the coil is mounted here or something. The coil bracket, because it looked like on the picture in the book that the coil was right here originally, and I don't ever remember that being the case, of course. But I wasn't the first owner of this car, because if I was, I'd be what? 80. I don't want to be 80. I do want to be 80, but just not right this minute. So we're going to deal with that thing. So, but the shot that I saw was the coil was right here, and and see, I've got this old. This is from Cantor. That's a pretty funky place if you've never gone to Cantor for old car stuff. This is solid. Isn't that pretty? That was on my Studebaker. I had a Studebaker convertible Champion from 47. Best running thing you ever seen in your life. Flathead 6. So anyway, this'll be fine, because it's got to go kind of tall up in there. And I got my other spark plug lightning tubes over here, spark plug wires. Sparking plugs. So we're going to have to wait on these. I haven't heard from Mr. Gasket when they're going to be here. So I have more. Oh, the other thing too was when you put it, if you build the motor and you put the heads and everything on it that you can put on it, such as they say, this is where you can hook the chains to put her on Elmer Gantry over there. And it didn't really say right off where you would put any in the front. Well, my guess would be I'm not going to be putting this on before I put it in the car, of course. And so I don't know. I'm going to find the biggest possible ones I can find, which I imagine are going to be here, and are duplicates of that. So let me get this stuff off, and we shall proceed further later. So this is marked like it should be, just like I've been wanting it to be done. I got all this off, and I guess they want you to pick the motor up here. And I guess that's what they want. I guess it'll do her. Well, I see these dudes pick it up with the intake manifold off the carburetor. So I guess I'm going to be okay. But I guarantee you one thing, there's going to be a strap or two around it too. We will, just some parts being delivered. Something I probably don't need. So, but I'm going to do that with my chains, and then I'm going to safety strap it. So I've got all this chain here, chain, and I got my Oberlin thing that goes backy forthy. So we're getting there. We're going to get there right here before we know it. I keep looking at that. I know, Mick. I know. I understand. But that's as good as it's going to get. I scraped out about 5 pounds of gunk, and I feel good about that. And it's going to look better with the cowling up there, see? Okay, here are the parts that came. This one's really making me worry. 5/8 hose, oil, gas. Well, if it knows gas, it'll hold coolant if it works. So let's see if I did my mathematics right here. Okay. Well, that was kind of expensive for that thing. Of course, it's not this thing that's all pitted, is it? All right, here's my intake manifold, and here's the old one that's all pitted. Okay. Well, it looks like I may have her here if she don't jump. Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm happy to have that. Okay. So we can put this in the Pontiac pile of emergency stuff. Okay, but we don't know. I'm sure that's 5/8. It looks like it. So I got a little extra over here. Yep, there you go. Let's see if that's 5/8. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right, good. So that was not too hard to get. I guess you could get it at an automotive store, but isn't that pretty brass? Okay, so put that right there. And we got this thing. So it's a 4-way chuck. I'm not going to go into that. Suitable for most drills. And so we're doing good here. So the reason I got this was I had some old chuck keys, but they were kind of worn out and I just didn't like them. So I haven't been able to really use this bad boy here. And let me tell you, that is one bad boy. That is a handbreaker right there. Let's see if I can find me a spot here. Okay. So it ain't going to be that little tiny one there. Well, that feels a little shaky. Ooh, there we go. There you go. Got it. I now have a chuck key, a Chuck Connors, for about whatever that one. Ooh, that was even wrong. So it's a matter of the pilot holes here, and that one fits. Okay, so this says it's a 1/32, 3/8, or 0.8 to 10 millimeter. So there that is. And not a sponsor, but fits. That's pretty cool. All right, that makes me feel good to have this. I'm going to just hang this up on a nail or something because I'm going to be using that for other things possibly. I actually do have another non-Jacobs chuck drill, and boy, is this doing a drill through some balsa or something. That one's not too bad, but I think I've got the chuck key on. Yeah, it's down there, so I didn't lose that one. The band didn't break, and I didn't lose it. But look at that. Yeah. The dark days. 3.5 whole amps. Ooh. Okay. Well, now I keep all my important tools up here. I keep this up in memory of Jack. Or not in memory. He's not quite dead yet. But I reach for it, but I just keep it around the cans here. And I reach for it now and then, my 97 in one. So I'm going to put that right there. There she is. Nice, safe spot there. I told you I had hay fever. So that'll just stay right there. All right. Now, I don't know when I'm going to end this one. I think I'm about done for today. Doesn't seem like much going on, but, you know, just the 1,000 hours of the little things, you know. So, the prelude of things to come. I've got my 20 amp fuse ready, and I've got my Bombardier switch ready. And like I told Sean, off is where the slat is, right there. So wherever that keyway goes, see it says off. These come from SparkFun. These are so good. I just love these switches, and I'm going to try to wire this one where the little LED light comes on, which shouldn't be too hard. I got 2 switches in there now that I couldn't do that with because of the way I wired them. But I'm going to do this one. I want that red light to come on right here so I can see the fans on. And so got that going forth, not much of the bag. And that, and then you got to put your relay on. I've learned something interesting about relays, depends on where you get them. The color coding can be a little different. The blue can be the red, and the red can be the blue, or there might even be not even be an 87A, because you got the 4-prong relay. This is a 5-prong, which means that the 87A is on when it's not energized. So when it is energized, you go to 87, and 87 is the yellow one, and that's the one that comes on when the relays energized. But they can be different, and I actually have a couple of diagrams of some I've had in the past, and the wiring color code's generally different. Generally, you will find black will go to earth. The blue happens to go to the positive raw power through the fuse, and then the white goes to the switch. So we'll be going to the switch here, and then the yellow goes to whatever it is you're doing. In this case, I'll be doing the fan. But wherever the load is, would it be it fog lights or running lights or whatever it is. So, but that's that. This company, these are pretty good, Bosch style. A Bosch one can run you about as much as 6 of these. One Bosch can, and this. The other thing that I would tell you to do too is make it. Be sure and keep something in your glove box to tell you how to bypass this in case it blows. So you can run without a relay. It causes a lot of stress on everything, but you can get you home that way. So make sure you run your diagram to where this will be your load, and you can just go to your positive, and then that'll get you on the way, because these do blow. These do get wet inside and blow. So that's a 30, 40 amp, 20 amp fuse, 20 amp switch. 20 amp, 12 volt switch. And so you just got to keep your eye on this stuff. Don't run much more than 20 amps in a car. It happens, power windows, power top. This one does. I think the T-Bird had like a 60 amp circuit breaker. And Jack called me about a 60-something Riviera convertible. And I said, trust me, you got to have them big, heavy-duty circuit breakers. Usually somewhere On Fords, it's around the front near the solenoid. It just depends. Just look it up yourself. But all right, that might color me gone for today. I don't know. What is it, 5? Let's look at the blue clock. Feels like 5. It's 4:30. Clean up some, I guess. I just wanted y'all to see what this looks like when that thing's lit up pretty. It's real nice. See? And then when you turn it off, it's this one. So you turn it off, and then we've got to go to the positive post. That's right. Oop. And then when you flip it on, that red light will be on. And so when you do this, see, it all cuts off. Ain't that groovy? Ain't that something? So there you go. Just mocking it up for you. You can tell I'm bored. I need parts. You know, one of my biggest videos of all time is the turn signal diagram I drew out for mixed Lexus because it had all that other mess in it. The security system, the hazards, and I just drew a very simple turn signal system, and that thing gets millions of hits, it feels like, at least for me, which means, you know, hundreds. But I think I'll do that. I think I'll just draw out the wiring diagram for the fan on Bonnie, and maybe that'll help somebody out. I don't know, just draw it out. I was going to tell y'all something else. That fitting, that brass fitting that you saw earlier, one of the reasons I knew what it was because I was at Northern Tool many years ago, and I got this. Now, this is what it was, and it tells you what it is. I don't even know if they make this kit. I don't know what the part number is, but it's I had to use this on some other household goods. But if you're going up to stuff like that, you know, you're somebody. I've never gone up to stuff that big. But if nothing else, this will tell you what you're dealing with. You know, you can sort of figure out and get your micrometer, just put it in there, and you can clean out threads. And but that's a good kit. And this will help you with the big plumbing issues like I dealt with just there on the intake manifold of the Bonneville. Nope, no part number. So it seems sort of backwards to me, the way those are latched, but you know, Chinese is upside down, you know? China's upside down. So that's why I put top right there. Just don't seem like it should go that way. You know, it looks more natural to me that way. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right and the world's wrong. Boy, that's been true many times. Well, maybe not so much, but at least I thought so. Here we are inside the humble abode. All right, Sheriff. I'll let you fill in the rest of that blank from George Carlin. So here comes the wiring diagram. I need something to write on while I'm sitting down. Some paper. Let's see. Let me go in here. I can't show you what's in there. No, I guess I can show you that. So I need a pen, this, that itself. I love when they come with pigtails like this. Nice. And the fuse and the switch. And let's draw it out. And I'm going to try to explain to you why these don't work if you wire them up in a weird way. I might do that on the other side because I'm going to throw this away, but I want to try to do this again for those of you who want to wire up your own stuff. Like I say, it's load. It's not necessarily a fan. It's not necessarily a light. It's whatever it is that you're powering on your vehicle that you want to pull. You want the switch to last longer, and you just don't want to put the big drain on your battery. I'm just going to wire. I'm not going to show you what's in here. Everybody's already done that. Okay. I'll draw it out, and then I'll explain it, and then we'll close things out. All right. Let's highlight my new tabletop. I refinished all this today. That little piece of wood that I put on the bay window and all this. I did all that today. It's a little scratchy, but I might get some pumice and polish it up. Who knows? Okay, but let's talk about your relay, your switch, your fuse, your battery that I don't have, and your load, and whatever your load is. Now, just to let you know, see, this happens to all of us. I just had to kind of do one and sort of play around with it. But here we go. This is how this works. You get your battery, which is earthed, usually to negative, not always, depends on how old it is. And then what I like to do is I'll take the positive and run it through at least a 20 amp fuse. Boy, I've been beating my hands up. It's bad. And then, because you're going to need 2 hots, okay, and at your own risk, okay. So you're going to run one of the hots to the 30, which is the blue wire, and it's just fused power directly to the relay, okay. And then you're going to take the other power and you're going to run it to one side of the switch. Okay. Now, I don't know if you want to use the LED switch that I showed you earlier, but that's up to you. Don't always count on that working. So I'm just going to say that this is the way that I'm 99% sure that it works. So I don't know what to tell you. You do what you want to on your switches. Now, if you want this kind of switch, it's SparkFun. SparkFun is a great company. I love them dearly. COM-11310 is the part number for this thing. Good stuff. They have good alligator clips. Okay, so let's go back to the positive terminal. You go through your fuse and you split. One side switch, one side 30. Okay, and then you take your white, which is, what is white? Well, I think white is 86. Yeah, 86. So, the only one I didn't mark. 86. Okay. So, there's 86 and 86 that. And then that goes to the switch. And blue goes to that. And then when you're going to power this, you're going to energize the coil. There's a coil in there. They describe it. Somewhere. It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they describe it here. So between 86 and 85 is your coil. Now, your magnetic coil, when it's either going to be off or on, So they give you the two things, 87A, which is hot when not energized, and 87, which is hot when energized. And that goes to your load, your fan, your light, whatever. So that's really all there is to this. It is not difficult. You just got to, it's, for me, maybe not for you, I like having it written out. That's my preference, is to have it, written out. Because I've done things before, and you end up going off into the weeds, and I end up with situations that sometimes you end up switching off this. You can actually switch off the earth on this. You can change this around. You can have this always hot, the white wire always hot, and you can run your black wire, and then you would earth the other side of this. So you go here, 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 and earth. They're very, very versatile. So there's that. There's that. There's that. I don't have a car battery up here at the house, and I don't have my fan yet. It won't be here till Friday. So anyway, I gotta do it. I heard it stick a little bit. So let's put this here, and then we'll let this kind of cure on out tonight. But nice reflection on me, isn't it? Thumbs up. Hit the like and subscribe. I think it's like, and down there subscribe, and ring that bell. All right, it's getting late. Let's put some 2.9 day old pizza in the oven and eat that and hope we stay well. The life of a bachelor. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video too. I forgot to say that. I'm growing weary. I think I'm dehydrated. Okay, bye-bye.